Hello there, my name is Peter Henning. You may already know that if you've seen any of my other previous vlogs. I basically mention realizations that I've had in hopes of improving myself and perhaps passing these realizations to others. Maybe they'll help other people. So here's an interesting realization that I've had, and this realization revolves around forgiveness. It's come to my attention that many people in society look upon forgiveness as being naive or being weak or losing dignity, but in fact that's not the case at all. And here's how I reasoned it out. First of all, a person who's forgiving, a person in order to forgive, must be aware that they have the power to forgive, must be aware that they were being hurt and that that person is the one that hurt them. That does not sound like a person who's completely oblivious to what's going on around them. That is a person who's aware. Therefore, it is not a person who's naive. The second thing is that the person might be losing dignity. I don't think that's the case either. Because when you forgive, you're actually giving dignity. If you didn't forgive the person, you're actually humiliating them. But in order to forgive, you're giving them dignity. You're not losing it yourself. The last thing that I was talking to a friend about, and they mentioned, well, what about pride? People think that they're losing pride when they forgive. And in our conversation, they mentioned to me that when you are losing, some people think they're losing pride, but pride is actually about the self. When we're talking about forgiveness, we're talking about people around you, right? People around us. And that is more about dignity and generosity to other people and understanding of other people. Understanding of other people and being forgiveness of other people does not mean you are losing your own self-respect. You would lose your own self-respect if you stayed, let's say, in an unhealthy relationship. Because that's confused with repeating that same mistake over and over and over again. But don't mistake in those two. Forgiveness means you hold no grudges against a person. You have a light spirit. You're not carrying anything around. But it does not mean that you did not learn from mistakes that you've done, right? If you're in an unhealthy relationship, you don't forgive the person for abusing you and then go back to the relationship, okay? That's an incorrect way of forgiving. You learn from your mistake. Of course, it's up to the person to discern in that own situation. But I am merely giving this as an example to show that just because you're forgiving, it does not mean you should just repeat the same mistake that you've done. You know? Forgiving is good for yourself as much as it is for the person, because it's not such a weight on your soul, on your spirit, on your walking, you know? And it actually takes, it's a muscle that one does need to practice, that we all need to practice. It's not an easy skill to acquire. It's easy to say, I forgive you, but really, like deep down, do we? And so, we should all work on it. And by it, I mean to make sure that the improvement goes to our most inner parts, to the depth, so that when we say, I forgive you, we mean it. And perhaps this ties back to love again, which would make forgiving even easier. So anyways, I hope that helped some of you guys out there. If any of you need any clarifications or any questions or any interesting ideas, something that I haven't perhaps mentioned or seen, a different perspective perhaps, I would love to hear about it. Comment below, inbox me. I'll be glad to cover it in one of my future videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.